These gentlemen can sit down, they're not strong. I would just like to present you a view of the situation with a letter from the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, which is with the full support of the Secretary General. I would like to express my personal concern regarding the situation of your health. Representative of the Secretary General, my name is Richard Bennett, representative of Human Rights Commissioner's Office. He said he has a few words to say before he brings this Jewish. Okay. Well, chin up. I'm going to try them with you. Try them. Thank you very much for the letter. When we decided to sit on this hunger strike, from the beginning we have decided to give up our life if we have to, but your presence here today has stopped that from happening, and he wants to thank you from the bottom of his heart. He does not feel that the life of the 3 hunger strikers here is not important. He feels that the Tibetan people inside Tibet suffering tremendously under Chinese occupation, and especially the 30 self-immolations in Tibet is of grave concern. And thank you for coming here. And he
would like to request the United Nations to truly support the Tibetan people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say one final thing. I think these gentlemen will still need some medical assistance.
Sure.
And if you require any help with that, please let us know.
Okay. Thank you. Kurangi tanda desun. Kurangi ni tanda kiran zul yada subu jogo shu chayo res tanda ni sum judon. Yin de gal yada menga da de gi dewa yungu res. Yin de menga ya ni roba de ni gugu na ni roba chigi is. Do you want to take a quick picture real quick together? Just
I think there's probably enough pictures.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you very much.
Sir, can we have your name and title, please?
Yeah, I'm Richard Bennett, and I'm the special advisor to these.
So please.
So why it takes so much time, sir?
So
people are dying over here. Why it takes so much time?
Requests of the Tibetans.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
So why it takes so much time, sir?
Do you have any response for the 5 requests the Tibetans are asking?
The response is in the letter that I presented, and the letter is the property of the 3 hunger strikers, so I suggest you ask them. I'm not going to disclose the letter, but it's up to them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Presented a letter and from the United Nations, and the letter is addressed to the 3 hunger strikers, and they have agreed to end their fast. Since it is a personal letter to the 3 gentlemen, I suggest you ask them the contents of the letter.
And Mr. Bennett, sorry, could we get your full name and title?
Richard Bennett.
And you're in the Secretary General's
No, my colleague is in the Secretary General's office here. And
but what is your title?
I'm the special advisor to the Assistant Secretary General for Human Rights. Yeah, but my colleague is from the Secretary General's
Mr. Onanga.
office. Mr. Onanga.
And
yes.
what was it that you gave them?
A letter.
A letter.
You just said.
No, you gave them a glass of
Juice.
You brought them juice.
We brought them juice to break the fast. Yeah.
And are you relieved this is over now? I mean, do you...
Certainly. I think everyone has the right to peaceful protest, but we're also relieved that this particular protest has concluded.
Could you just tell us, are you going to accede to any of their demands in the petition? Is that what the letter said?
I think you should ask them. It's in the letter.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Thank you so much.
Delia, nesu kari chungba dinge. Anda da chige ge sargo ba mangbush tu dinge injin anglo ya thangbo chi khashi chi deshe shu bi na phaje chi chana ni quran zu pha phe ngure indi jelia ngengon ya thanda phege tholia ngaran zu mima cholia deshe theni nesu kari chungyo me di shibda jinge shu chowa ta ani di jelia kyabje shingsan bu ji chone ya ani ma cholia kalopchi yor thi ndi galia di thulia jarona chi shwei because we have so many media here today, before addressing what happened to the Tibetan people in our language, I want to address in English to the media here as to what just happened here. 3 brave Tibetans set on hunger strike in front of the United Nations headquarters here exactly 30 days ago today. Today marked the 30th day by these 3 brave Tibetans on hunger strike without eating any food to show their solidarity with the Tibetan people suffering inside Tibet and appealing the United Nations to intervene, demanding UN's intervention in the critical situation in Tibet. 30 days, and today, on the 30th day, the 3 Tibetans here with their sacrifice. As you can see how frail they are, how weak they are. One of the hunger strikers is already in hospital. He's not eating in the hospital either. And you have all seen the conditions of the two. So 30 days. And we finally opened the doors of the United Nations today. What you all just saw is a victory for the Tibetan people. And victory not just for the Tibetan people, but victory to a non-violent struggle of the Tibetan people. And I stress, non-violent struggle of the Tibetan people, because the Tibetan people has been caught in between a rock and a hard place. 53 years of Chinese occupation, 53 years of oppression. We have gone through a lot. And for us, under the leadership of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, hunger strike and self-immolations are the last two resorts of our non-violent struggle. Tibetan people are completely against the illegal occupation of Tibet and oppression of the Tibetan people by the Chinese government. And that is why we have Buddhist monks and nuns setting themselves on fire, hoping institutions like the United Nations and the rest of the world would hear their cries for freedom, for independence of Tibet, and for return of our leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to Tibet. Having said that, what we have here today, and again, because of the sacrifice by the three brave Tibetans here, and most importantly by our brothers and sisters inside Tibet, the United Nations heard the Tibetan people today. They have finally heard us today after a long time. And this is a victory. This is a victory that we, the Tibetan people, will build on going forward. And we will continue to knock on the doors of the United Nations until we regain Tibet's independence and until we return our leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to Tibet, where he rightfully belongs.
Rangi